Welcome, people of tomorrow. Today's topic is something I've been trying to do for a while. I'm going to ruffle some feathers, but it's for good cause. Do you ever wonder why we're living in 2026 surrounded by AI that can code, that can write poetry, that can do art, and we have technology that breaks the boundaries of our imagination sometimes. And somehow our lives feels dated, obsolete. Like we're trying to install a hyper advanced operating system in the motherboard from 1974. I talk a lot about the future on this channel. I'm passionate about the future and I really want us to get it right. And of course, everybody has been talking about artificial intelligence, AI, and decentralized energy, such as wind turbines and solar energy and the rest. And of course, extended reality, XR, MR, AR, all these glasses that are out now and headsets. And of course, the automation of labor. But we have one gray haired obstacle that's getting in our way. It's a generation that inherited early access to Earth, used up all the resources, and then you're refusing to hand over the admin key to the next generation. Now, this is what I call the Boomer Bottleneck. So, boomers are people that are born between 1946 to 1964. Before them, I call the traditionalist, born 1925 to 1945. After the baby boomers is Generation X, born 1965 to 1980. The millennials, such as myself, born 1981 to 2000. Generation Z, born 2001 to 2020. Today, we're going to talk a lot about how the good old days is destroying our own new, better days, and why holding on to power is one of the biggest social bugs that we have as human beings. Now, before somebody goes around and say, "Oh yeah, this guy hates old people," no. Some fantastic boomers out there advising us, giving us the right advice, doing things, preparing, and just moving in such a way that they know that they're gonna be gone soon, but I want to leave a good legacy for the next generation. So I don't hate old people. I just think there need to be massive change in power and this generational gap. But let us look at the stats. So you don't think I'm making this up. You could pay for a 4-year degree. Now listen to this. You could pay for a 4-year degree by working a summer job at a grocery store. You could buy a house on a single income before you're 25. That's amazing, honestly. They didn't just work hard like they would tell us to. They worked in a system that was designed to reward them. Now, instead of using the massive wealth and stability to build a sustainable foundation for the next version of humanity, the next generation, they optimized for short term. They patched the economy with duct tape, predatory loans, fossil fuel reliance, and skyrocketing real estate just to keep their own save file perfect. You ever heard the word gerontocracy? So gerontocracy is a system of government or organization where power is held by the oldest members, often resulting in a significant age gap between leaders and their constituents. We're about to reach a certain civilizational pivot point where we're deciding the ethics of CRISPR. CRISPR is on gene editing, and of course, also the sovereignty of AI. We've been talking about that, and of course, the privacy laws when it comes to the metaverse. Guess who is making decisions? Guess. People will still print their freaking emails. We are living in a gerontocracy where the highest age and the highest halls of power is past retirement. When you have a leadership class that won't be alive long enough to see the consequences of their policies today, morality goes out of the window. They're not worried about 2050 climate change patch because their subscription is probably going to end in some 2035. They often talk about the good old days. Why? Because they understand the good old days. They know how to navigate the good old days. but they fear the future. Why? Because they can't control it with their TV remotes. And by staying in power, they are forcing the rest of us to live in a world that is governed by 20th century logic. I'm tired, man. I'm extremely tired. Things gotta change. It's not just about money and politics, though. It's also about vibes. You see, the older generation has successfully uploaded a virus into the political and cultural climate. The idea that anything new is inherently bad or worse. They've influenced younger people to be cynical about the very tech that could save us. They tell us social media is brain rot, but they spend 8 hours a day getting radicalized by Facebook memes. They tell us, oh, VR is escaping reality, while they ignore the fact that they made reality too expensive to live in. They branded our desires for change as, oh, you're entitled. If you want a planet if you want a planet that is not on fire, oh, you're too sensitive, you're a snowflake. If you want a work-life balance that doesn't involve 60 hours in a cubicle or a warehouse, oh, you're too lazy. It's classic gaslighting tactics to make us feel like we are the bug in a system that is actually our fault, the way things are. Now, as I said, it's not all of them, but the majority of them. They keep saying, oh, climate change is not real, it's just seasonal change. While we're seeing the evidence that climate change is happening right in front of us, I think it's gonna suffer for the effects of climate change when it really, really gets bad. It's not them. So they don't care, they don't mind. Oh God. So I don't know. Is it disrespectful to tell an entire generation to step aside? See, in tech, they have something called end of life. It's when companies stop supporting an old version of a software and start supporting the new one. Now, it's not because the old version was bad. It's because it cannot handle the modern environment. It becomes a security risk. The boomers' worldview is EOL, end of life. Their insistence on holding the keys is actively slowing down the innovation that we need to survive. We need decentralization. We need new forms of digital identity. Working 60 hours and still not being able to make ends meet. Working 2-3 jobs and still struggling. Come on now. Are you not tired? Holding on to power when you no longer understand the world that you're leading. That is not service. That is ego. It's costing us the future. You see, I remember when I was young and I was getting my primary education, they would tell us, you are the leaders of tomorrow. They are still the same people in power. So when is it gonna be our turn? I don't hate the player, okay? I hate the game. Game was written by people who don't want to see game over screen on their own air. The good old days are ghosts. We can't live in it. We have to build great new days. Forget about the good old days. We need to savor that umbilical cord that connects us to that generation. Now, I'm not saying don't do anything. No, I'm not saying hate them or ostracize. No, but when it comes to their policies, when it comes to their ideologies, we need to break off. If your parent or your mentor or somebody that you look up to is passing down hate, insecurity, fear, anger to you, get out. Misery likes company. A miserable person will try to look for as many people as possible to pour their misery on. Get out of that mindset. It's old mentality, old OS, old operating system. Carrying it around, you're a young person, you're carrying around that old operating system, it doesn't get you anywhere. That future that you imagine, where it's clean, where everybody's happy. Yes, everybody can be happy. We cannot achieve it by trying to install old OS on a new system. Look at those Waymo trucks. those Waymo taxis.
Okay, why is this happening to me on a Monday? I'm in a Waymo car.
Connected to rider support. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
This car is just going in circles.
Hi there, Mike. This is Gab. I'm calling from Waymo Support. I'm just calling because I received a notification that your car might be experiencing some routing issue. Please bear with me while I am...
I got a flight to catch. Why is this thing going in a circle? I'm getting dizzy. Look at what it's doing.
I understand. I'm really sorry, Mike. We're working with the situation of the vehicle. Is it circling around a parking lot, right?
It's circling around a parking lot. I got my seatbelt on. I can't get out the car. Has this been hacked? What's going on? I feel like I'm in the movies. Is somebody playing a joke on me? And I got a flight to catch.
I understand, Mike. I'm really sorry for this. We're working with this, but by any chance, do you have an access to your Waymo app right now? Do you have an
yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna be...
Why do you think they mess up? Because we're human beings, man. We're trying to install a new system in an old infrastructure. What do you think is gonna happen? There is a future around the corner like we've never seen before. And if we don't get this right, we're gonna regret it for the rest of our lives as humans. I don't know. Maybe I'm just entitled, you know. So, what do you think? Put your comments down there, unless you don't know how to scroll. I'm just playing. We got only one Earth. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody. We are on our own. And if we don't get this right, I feel bad for us. So, what are we gonna do?